Okay, here's my Ego 21-inch self-propelled 56 volt battery operated lawnmower. Okay, I know y'all wanted to know this. This is how the battery goes in. Big 56 volt battery. Just slides in, slams down, and shit. Okay, so I'm going to use my Ego battery operated lawnmower to pick up all these pine needles all over the yard. And this time I'm going to use the regular blade, and the next time all this stuff comes down, which it'll come down shortly, I'm going to use the high lift blade. So I'll give you a little indication of what it looks like when I'm done. Okay, so it's 63 degrees out, and I got it on the 3rd knot to the top, and I got a little less than half speed. And this is a speed control being really super slow and super fast. And when I mowed the yard, I had it on super slow. Even though I said I had it on half speed, I had it on super slow. It looks like it's not all that good, but it is way better than what you're seeing right there, as you can see. And I did this whole part of the yard here, and I'm gonna go over it twice. Probably shouldn't have to, but I'm going to. There's a little bit, and there's a few leaves I'm gonna be getting up. We'll see how that goes. The first time around, and the pine needles are still falling, but it looks okay. I mean you really can't see the, looks fantastic probably in the video, but it's not all that good. There's still a lot of stuff on the ground here. You know, it beats raking, that's for sure. I don't rake at all. I use my riding mower or this thing here to do the leaves up. And the pine needles are kind of wet, but I want you to notice this. This is my water cover here, and I didn't even suck those up off the water cover, and they're pretty dry there, yeah, but it didn't suck them up off that thing. Okay, I'm gonna get ready to go over this whole thing the second time, and we'll see if it sucks up any more stuff, just for fun. It'll take me about 13 minutes. And I like the deck height adjustment. It does all 4 wheels at once, all the way high, all 4 wheels, or down low. Okay, so I went over a second time, and it did pretty good. I mean, you could hear it picking up more stuff, but I don't know how it looks in the video. But over in this area where it was kind of wet, it really didn't pick up much more at all. I'm pretty particular about it. I wish it would have picked up a lot more, but it looks pretty good. Okay, went over the second time, and it picked up that much more off the second time around. See, it chops up pretty fine. I mean, it looks like mulch almost. Yeah. And this is how you start it. You push this button down, pull this, and the motor starts. Okay, I'm going to change out the regular blade on this Ego 21-inch self-propelled lawnmower. 14 millimeter socket, and just push down, and I kind of broke it loose. But it comes undone like so, and you just pull it off, and that's it. Here they are side by side. This one is the old one I just pulled off, the normal one, and the close one is the high lift blade, and it says the same thing. This side facing grass. I'm going to spin them around and see what they look like. You can tell the difference. This is a real short one here with a little thing, and this one's great big and long. Design's a little different there. And so I'll flip it over. Okay, so I'll tighten down the nut here. Okay, we'll call it good. And the next time I come out and mow, I'll have the high lift blade on. All right. flip her back over. And the cool thing about it is you don't have to have the motor going to move it. You just pull this and then it starts. And now we have the high lift blade on, and our pine needles fell again. It's a big mess out there. So we'll just see how this high lift blade does. The needles are rather wet and there's no frost on the ground. On this side we got all this. The wheels on the lawnmower are totally wet. So the lawn's wet and so are the pine needles. A little over half the yard, and it's really looking good. I'm impressed with the high lift blade right now. As you can see, still got half the yard to go. A lot of stuff, and over on this side where I've already done, it's really picked up well. I'm impressed. I think at this point I'm real happy with the high lift blade. Okay, so there you have it. You got the high lift blade, and I'm pretty happy with it, but the lawn was pretty wet, and especially over here it was almost frozen, and it still picked up pretty good. It picked up probably twice as good as the regular blade. And so now I'm just going to go over it real fast and see how much I get. I'll start with an empty chute. I'll go over it real fast. Try the old lawnmower sucking up that stuff off the water meter cover. We'll see how that does with the new high lift blade. Okay, so I went over it a second time and I'm pretty impressed. It pretty much got everything. I normally would go over it with my Lawn Boy power mower twice, and it would get a lot better, but I'm pretty impressed. I like it. Okay, so I know you don't want to know this, but I just dropped it down to number 2 on the notch. Okay, so I finished mowing it on number 2 notch, the high lift blade, and it sucked everything up. There is nothing left. This lawn looks beautiful. I'm very happy with the high lift blade. I didn't think I was at first, but I am. Well worth the $21 or $22 it costs. Next time I'll put on the 3rd notch the first time, and then the 2nd notch the 2nd time, and I'll go over it twice. So yeah, I think it's worth it. That tree right there is the one that's dropping all the pine needles. And I like the handle adjustment features, got 3 different spots. You just push that one in, it goes down and up. And I like it. It's for storage there. And I also like this feature where you pop these guys up here for storage, make it smaller, push that down, pull it up. And let's see.